Lady Bird makes for a delightful coming-of-age comedy drama fueled by Gerwig's inspired direction and Saoirse Ronan's charming performance. Is the thoroughly enchanting solo directorial debut for Greta Gerwig, who is perhaps best known at the moment for her multiple collaborations with indie author Noah Baumbach, having previously starred in The Baumbas Erected, and both of which she also co-scripted, as well as the filmmaker's dramedy. Gerwig stepped behind the camera in order to call the shots herself, drawing from her original script. A semi-autobiographical dramedy inspired by Gerwig's adolescence, firmly establishes its creator as a storyteller with a unique voice and identity all her own, makes for a delightful coming-of-age comedy drama fueled by Gerwig's inspired direction and Saoirse Ronan's charming performance. The year is 2002 and Christine McPherson Ronan, who prefers to go by Lady Bird, is a teenager entering her senior year in Catholic high school, with big dreams of moving away from her hometown of Sacramento in order to attend an artsy East Coast college, preferably one in New York. Christine is matched in her expressive nature, strong opinions, and headstrong attitude by only her mother Marion Laurie Metcalf, a nurse who would much prefer that her daughter attend college somewhere closer to home and cheaper. The volatile dynamic between the two of them is only exacerbated when Christine's father Larry Tracy loses his job, forcing the McPhersons to tighten their belts even further. Saoirse Ronan and Laurie Metcalf in Lady Bird. Christine thus takes it upon herself to try and realize her dreams of a college experience far from home on her own, all while going through the various ups and downs of life as a high schooler. Among other things, Christine finds herself becoming newly active for the first time, weathering both the highs and lows in her relationship with her BFF Julie Steffens Beanie Feldstein, taking steps to impress the wealthier students at her school, and making a valiant effort to maintain the peace with her mother. Gradually, Christine begins to realize that it might just be all of these things together, the good and the bad alike, that truly make her Lady Bird. In its own way, in the cinematic equivalent of a great photo album, a snapshot that conjures up strong memories and feelings from the past, even as it recounts life-changing events and memorable experiences in the blink of an eye, taking place over the course of a year, and, in turn, Gerwig's script aptly captures the turbulence of adolescence with wit, heart, and the wisdom afforded by the passing of time. Gerwig's film also brings to mind something like Richard Linklater's, in the way that it authentically encapsulates what life was like growing up during the through its attention to small details and what, in the moment, seem like the banalities of everyday life, is far more succinct in its approach than Linklater's dramatic epic, which is nearly twice as long as Gerwig's film, focusing on brief moments and small interactions between characters that manage to say a whole lot and pack an emotional punch, using but a few words and with limited screen time. Like the best page-turning novels, is a thematically and emotionally satisfying narrative that flies by, yet leaves you wanting more. Saoirse Ronan in Lady Bird. Credit goes to both Gerwig and editor Nick Huey for ensuring that it never drags, nor wastes a moment of its runtime. The film's editing creates some nice juxtapositions between the similar day-to-day experiences in Christine's life, meeting with teachers, walking down the street, as well as those that further emphasize the important connection between Lady Bird and her mother. Gerwig also has a strong eye for visual comedy and for capturing the distinct flavor of the film's Californian neighborhoods and scenery, with the aid of the memory-like cinematography by Sam Levy, her collaborator on and. While Gerwig's visual sensibilities have no doubt been influenced by her previous collaborations with filmmakers like Baumbach, never comes off as derivative and has a look and feel that is all its own. As indicated earlier, is, at its core, as much a mother-daughter story as it is a coming-of-age tale, and the performances from Ronan and Metcalf are in no small part also responsible for the film's success. As she has done with very different roles in the past, Ronan vanishes into the part of the tempestuous Christine, making the character all the more honest a representation of an actual teenager for it. Ronan's wonderful performance here is matched by that of Metcalf, who is equally moving and shrewdly funny in her own turn. The dynamic between the on-screen mother and daughter duo is all the more believable because of the small touches that Ronan and Metcalf apply, from their body language around one another to the way they can undercut each other, then have a sincere bonding moment without skipping a beat. Suffice it to say, both are deserving of the awards buzz that they are getting. Saoirse Ronan and Beanie Feldstein in Lady Bird equally enchanting in her supporting role here as Feldstein as the brainy and bubbly Julie, lending all the more authenticity to the character's friendship with Christine in the film. The larger ensemble is great in their own right, starting with Letts in his turn as Christine's easygoing but quietly troubled father Larry. Also great here are Lucas Hodges and Timothée Chalamet as Danny and Kyle, two very different boys that Christine falls for over the course of her senior year in high school, as is Jordan Rodriguez as Christine's adopted brother, Miguel. Meanwhile, on the adult side of things, character actors Stephen McKinley Henderson and Lois Smith managed to be both funny and moving in their brief appearances as two of Christine's teachers here, in the forms of Father Laviach and Sister Sarah Joan, respectively. In the end, Gerwig very much sticks the landing with her solo directorial debut on and delivers a thoroughly enjoyable coming-of-age story that is both funny and wistful in equal measure, driven by great writing, direction, and performances all around among other elements. The lively and touching score from John Bryan makes for a terrific addition to its genre, one that goes even further in breaking the mold than last year's own acclaimed look back at adolescence through the eyes of a teenage girl. As a surefire player in the awards season to come, is one that cinephiles will want to check out in theaters, as will anyone else who is either a fan of Gerwig's previous work and/or interested in finding out what all the fuss is about. Trailer is now playing in US theaters nationwide. It is 93 minutes long and is rated R for language, UAL content, brief graphic nudity and teen partying. Let us know what you thought of the film in the comments section. Our rating 4.5 out of 5 must see.